Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. Today we're taking a look at two different custom LEGO Imperial Troop Transports, or ITTs for short. From the designer Rob Van Leeuwen, we have the standard K79-S80 Imperial Troop Transport and the more combat-ready variant, the Trexler 906 Armored Marauder, both of which are based on how they appeared in the Mandalorian show. Now, ferrying soldiers and supplies from base to mission objectives is the primary goal for these vehicles, while they were also used for reconnaissance and ground assault. These plated repulsor lifts most closely mimic modern-day APCs, and they make for some more rugged and realistic-looking military vehicles in the Star Wars universe. Before I get into the details any further, though, first I'd like to say that if you wanted to build either of these models for yourself, the instructions can be found at brickvault.toys. With each purchase comes the PDF step-by-step guide for building and a parts list for fast ordering online. The models are physically tested in real life. Instructions are tested for clarity and parts curated for availability. Getting instructions is an excellent way to help support the channel and the talented designers we work with, like Rob, who has also built the awesomely detailed and surprisingly sturdy Rebels AT-AT. So click the link in the description below if you want to build, and alright, let's start off with checking out the details of the Troop Transport. This vehicle technically appeared in the Rebels show first, but went through some significant modifications as the years went by, and by the time it appears IRL in The Mandalorian, the K79-S80 is a very different kind of beast. The inclusion of a top-mounted large swiveling turret, for example, makes storing cargo on the roof impractical now, when before it was a standard function of its predecessor. This vehicle is optimized for getting boots on and off the ground fast. On either side of the transport, it has 3 personnel openings, which means troops can flood out of this vehicle and straight into combat extremely quickly. These openings can also lock something or someone in place too, which made them excellent for cargo or prisoners. And now truly the really cool thing about this model is that it's entirely accessible. Anywhere a person could go in universe, a figure can go in the model. The top comes off in 3 places, and the back door flips up as well. This reveals a full interior, and I really do mean full when I say that. In the back there is a control console with blaster pistols, lights on the walls, weapons and equipment storage between the personnel openings, and tons of details in the cockpit. The whole walkway is covered in studs if you wanted to fill the transport with figs, while the grille detailing along the bottom still makes even the floor intentionally detailed. This may be some of the most complete interior building I've encountered in a vehicle for a LEGO model, period. Now let's take a quick jump over to the Armored Marauder. Like the name implies, this transport was less about moving lots of troops and more about quick striking, ground engagements, and direct conflict. I like that the armor is even a little thicker on the sides of the cockpit compared to the transport. Even though the heads of the two vehicles are essentially identical, there is attention given to some of the less noticeable areas. Now, no doubt you did notice, though, the main difference already. The side doors don't exist, and instead we have some thicker fins that come out with some more weapons also mounted on top. On either side, there's an extra couple of forward-mounted laser cannons, plus a smaller turret. This area, no doubt, offers more offensive and defensive protection than the transport, and it's alluded that these vehicles are pretty expensive on the black market, which means they're probably very, very effective at doing what they need to be able to do. The back has a barred slit window that protrudes out and offers you just the first glimpse of the inside, and similar to the last model, this opens up quite a bit, but it's a little bit different. For starters, the back doesn't open at all, and instead the only way in and out of the vehicle is through the top and bottom splitting doors of the midsection. For accessing the model, the top comes up in 2 areas, plus the turret, and inside you have a lot more controls and details in the aft section of the build. There's a swiveling chair with targeting screen next to the console, interesting wall greebling next to that, and on the opposite side there is a counter, weapons rack, and kind of random supplies strewn about everywhere. Also, if you would like to get inside the Marauder a bit closer, this vehicle has another somewhat unexpected breakaway function. This allows you to get deeper into the model for posing figs, and this breakaway addition here comes at no structural cost to the model, which is something that I think is definitely worth pointing out. The frame for this thing is incredibly well designed. The cockpit interior is the same as before, but as I put the top back on, I really quick just want to say that I really enjoyed the way Rob got the roof to slide in place. It was pretty genius getting those tilted tiles to work as guides for the roof piece. Anyways, it's kind of cool taking a closer look at some of the colder, more logistical vehicles from the Empire. These seem infinitely more practical than an AT-ST, and I'm really glad that we got all those Imperial battle packs a few years back so we could really show off how these models would normally be interacting with Stormtrooper figs. Rob really went for detail and strength with these models, and remember, if you did want to build either of these transports for yourself, the instructions can be found at www.brickvault.toys. If you have any ideas on more models for us to build in the future, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy our content, you can always like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever it is that you want to do, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.